Mish and some partial nudity. Nicola takes on Joe now in the Bush Tucker Trial ice cream van. In I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
I just love these mini pavlovas. Try one! They started on a high.
Going into a primeval forest is something that I think is exciting.
What the hell is this?
We're appalled when we actually camp.
Now reality is hitting home.
I am so bored with this weather.
This is harder than I thought it would be.
I feel quite lonely. I'm not staying.
Down and miserable.
I'm freezing and I stink.
They're divided.
I've never met Robert before.
Brian and Q work.
They're going to bump heads, those two.
See you later. Robert started to attack me. Start off. You come really?
It was one for all and all for one.
In particular, you know that. They're locked into battle.
I wanted to win.
But who's got the stomach for the fight? Home already seems a million miles away. And nobody told them it would be like this. The battle to survive has only just begun, and I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here! Welcome to Australia. All right?
Yeah, it's fine. Nothing. Get on with it. Fine. Nothing happened.
Welcome to Australia, the country that put rain into a rainforest. Our celebrities have only been in the camp 5 minutes, but already they're missing home and they're missing food. But on the plus side, they've got plenty of water.
They certainly have. It's in their beds, their boots and all their belongings. If this goes on much longer, it could be disastrous for morale, for team spirit, and worst of all, for Kilroy's time.
Never going to get any better in the rain. That's how serious things are, people. Really serious. When we last saw them, you'd chosen Joe and Nicola for the latest Bush Tucker trial, and as always, your taste was exquisite. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss this one. It's coming up later in the show.
But first, back to I'm going to make it a thing. Should I make it a thing?
Yeah, I think you should.
But first, back to yesterday morning, and things were looking desperate for a away camp. They'd lost the first Bush Tucker trial, and they were absolutely starved.
And if that wasn't bad enough, the conditions down there were like Ant's favourite band. Wet, wet, wet.
Love them.
Good morning. I am so bored with this weather. I know. It is so boring. Our lovely little pool, it looks horrible.
Carly didn't win the trial yesterday, although she gave it a really good go. I think it sent a few people a bit lower because, you know, they really, really needed the food.
So we've got one day left, and we should have enough rations for that day.
It should be, but
we don't.
No.
It's not my most brilliant morning, this, because we've miscalculated the food. Let's have a look. How bad is it? Yeah, it's not good, is it? So we've got to get 15 portions out of this. We could always chew on a log or something.
Definitely Simon, I think, who's suffering the most with the food situation.
Please. More rice and beans.
Now, I don't know whether it's sitting next to you or whether it's the diet, but my boobs seem strangely smaller this morning.
Do they?
Yeah.
You might have lost weight.
Or it might be just comparison.
Yeah, if it's comparison, they'll look small. You okay?
Best hurt myself.
That's what I'm worried about. If I lose weight and my boobs shrink, I'll be devastated. But I don't think they can shrink.
No, they can't. We haven't really eaten yet, so I am absolutely, I shouldn't say starving, but I'm close to it.
That's what we could do, is have some hot water. Hot water's rather nice.
Yeah, it is actually, yeah.
And it fills you up.
Well.
Yeah.
You can't live on water. Well, I suppose you can, but that's what we're going to have to live on today.
Right, is everyone going to, sure they're going to be able to go without breakfast, or should we start?
We're having breakfast.
We're having breakfast, aren't we?
We had 2 cups of hot water each that we imagined was tea or coffee.
This
Nice
is
cup of
breakfast.
coffee.
This is a nice cup of hot coffee.
Well, mine's hot chocolate.
It was nice. We hadn't had it before, but obviously it's not like eating a breakfast.
Having lost has made life very difficult for us in the camp. Having apparently the worst camp, we're surrounded by damp and water, and it's miserable, and don't have very many amenities and no food to speak of, without the added complication of the rain. I'm sure that must have been part of the deal too, that I'm sure it's sunny at the other camp.
Showering, you know, surrounded by nature is just wonderful. It would be nice to do that for a couple of days and then go back to the hotel.
I wanted to shower, but I don't want to go out in the rain.
There is nowhere at the shower to put your clothes if it's raining. But what I did was I put my clothes inside this.
There, and just left that
and
on
then
the
wrapped
side.
that up. Just showered without a costume on.
Did you get nude? Did you?
Oh, you did?
Did you shower naked?
You know.
I don't want anyone to see my little wiener. Do you have a name for your wiener? Alfie.
Alfie.
Do you have a name?
No.
Do you have a name?
No.
Really?
When Martina said about have you got a name for your little man, I jumped at the deep end and said, yeah, mine's called Alfie. And then everyone else went, no, we ain't got a name for ours. So I felt a bit silly.
From what I hear, men give a name to their penis for one reason only, so they don't have a total stranger making all the decisions for them.
That's brilliant.
That is very funny. I do not have a name for my penis. Lovely as it is, it doesn't have a name.
I'm proud of it, and I have not named it. It's I guess, Junior George.
Have you got a name for yours?
I have actually, I call it Tony Blair.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Is that because it's powerful and impressive?
No, it's because he used to be busy, but nobody's seen him for ages.
Well, we might have 2 different camps, but they've both got one thing on their mind. Food. Home and away go head-to-head every day in the Bush Tucker Trials. Here's what 2 of them will face next. Don't worry, pal.
The water is rising, and 2 celebrities are chained and bound. Who will you send to the Chambers of Horror?
And the lines are now open for Chambers of Horror. The celebrity with the most votes from each camp will go head-to-head. We'll start with home camp.
To lock up a copper, it's 09011 32 3201 for Brian.
To make it Chamber of Horror, add 03 for Danny.
Should this star trek to the trial? If you think so, add 05 for George.
To give Squash a wash, add 06 for Joe.
To make Martina cleaner, add 07.
Now for away camp, if you think Carly's a zucker for punishment, add 09011 32 3202.
If you'd like to test the ransom, add 04 for Esther.
That's a good one.
To send Nicola wet wild, add 08. To make Robert Bob, add 09.
And to send Simon back into the blue, add 10.
Calls cost 50p from a BT landline. Calls from other networks may be higher. Mobiles will be considerably more. 15 pence from each call goes to charity. Details of which can be found at itv.com/celebrity.
Lines close later in the show. Votes cast after that time will not be counted, but may still be charged.
Right, back to home camp, who, thanks to a couple of early victories, had made a pretty good start to life in the jungle. So with the next trial looming, would Joe be able to keep up the good work?